I am Myrtle October, and you must stay till the end of this video. Let me just tell you, it's going to be good. I have the secret sauce to what I've learned about my thought life. I want to share this with you because it took a lot of work, but not that I've arrived, but I definitely have a different thought life than I had at least 3 years ago. And I just must share this with you. It's so good. So you're going to want to watch to the end of this video. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Myrtle October. I am a life balance coach. And what I do is I help everyday stay-at-home moms, students, entrepreneurs, and working moms who just want to do better. And I definitely feel like I don't know what I would do if I couldn't share or help people. And so that's what I love to do. I love to help people. I love to share my life with you. I want to share my life with you. I want to help you with things that I've learned and watch you grow, watch you win. Just watch you win. Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about 3 categories that align with our thought life. In those, there are about 10 different types of thinking patterns that we all tend to have. And sometimes we can be obsessive. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. How we can refrain from obsessing over it or just even identifying those thoughts ahead of time so we don't inflict the pain on ourselves or project that behavior on other people. I like to say first and foremost that I know that God is the reason I was able to even digest any of this and get through these principles, and I still revisit them here and there because they're timeless. They don't die or fade. Again, all or nothing. This is often when you are like, oh, it's this or it's that. You never see anything in between, and often this is called black and white thinking. Moving on to jumping to conclusions. And again, that's more like a person who's perfectionist. Sometimes they think they're prophetess, fortune tellers, or thought readers, or spiritists, maybe even a wizard in the old ancient times. But even still, those type of behaviors and people exist. And so whether this is, again, not to say you're not any of these things, because I don't know that. I know that we often can overdo this. So maybe you get an intuitive thought, or maybe you've been right before, maybe you've have had experience with sharing information and it's come true and things like that. But don't get too caught up in thinking you know what someone's thinking about you. That say you could read minds. What does it matter if someone's thinking something? Then you can't control it anyway. The next one is should or must. Now this one you can project on other people as well. So being a critic, more probably than anyone, I love constructive criticism. However, when you're a critic of this sort, or you start thinking like this in terms of things you see or people doing where you really don't have enough information, you start using words like should, must, and ought. And you start using language surrounding guilt-ridden and failure type of language. And you can apply this internally and externally, and it leads to frustration. So being mindful that you don't want to get into the unhelpful thinking style of should and must. So far, we've talked about all or nothing, jumping to conclusions, and should and must. About magnifying. Oh, wow. This one's good because a lot of times when you feel like somebody's blown something out of proportion or they make it shrink it down, it's still called magnifying. So you're looking too deep into it, or you're blowing it up too big. And I feel very qualified to talk about this because this is things I've struggled with, and I still do at times struggle with it. However, now in my season of life and in the last 3 years, I've had to grow and I've had to learn it. I don't want to hold back things that I know could really help people. So we're here today talking about unhelpful thinking styles, and I've broken that up into 3 different categories. And again, this is stuff you can find in Psychology Today journals and things like that. So it's not new information. I've paraphrased a lot of this information, but I've used this over my times, and I still do at times have to go back to it and ask myself, which one of these am I doing right now? And I think that's what you're going to have to do too. Which one of these am I doing? Because that's what's going to keep you from being so caught up in certain things that say you could read minds. What does it matter if someone's thinking something? Then you can't control it anyway. So that's really important. How are you guys feeling right now? I've been talking a little bit about some of the different patterns of thought processes, and kind of showing you just the board and not me right now. So just want to make sure you guys are all tuning in. Make some comments, tell me where you're from, tell me if this is helpful for you, if you would like me to do more videos like this. I believe that this still falls in line with our bedtime routines and things of that nature, because if you don't get this down, I think it's going to be difficult for you to even try to train your kids or yourself to get into routines or back to routines. Because like, okay, this is kind of like, if you don't have a track to get on, I want to give you a track, because sometimes we fall off track, right? We all do. I don't care how great or perfect you think you might be, you always fall off track at some point. The next one is overgeneralizing, and I have generalists set here because mental filter. Now we're coming down into the pessimist area. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Focusing in on one type of evidence, seeing only failures, dismissing success. A lot of Christians struggle with this. I know for a fact, because I've struggled with this as well. It's important for you to be humble. Yes, yes, yes. But just because you're being humble, because this could be similar to a false humility, doesn't mean you can dismiss everything you've done, everything God's done, everything people have done, just to feel like you're being humble. Now we got emotional reasoning. People who are coming down to pessimism. You like to assume the worst case based on feelings alone. For example, if you're embarrassed, oh, you must be an idiot. I'll give you a good example. The other day, I was calling myself, I was on Zoom with my coworkers, and one coworker had posted their picture in their space. And I thought, oh, I want to do that too, because I'm not going to get my face on there yet. I thought I'll put a picture there and it'll be there every time I come on. And I just wanted it just in my spot. And then I pressed the wrong button, and I was sharing my whole screen and just spreading. My picture was like right there. Like I was sharing my screen, not putting a photo in the space I was supposed to be in. Anyway, you know how the squares are on Zoom. Anyway, that was funny to me. I laughed at myself because I knew I didn't mean to do that. You know, I thought it was funny. I'm sure someone might have thought that it was something else, maybe, and that's okay. But just because it was a bit embarrassing doesn't mean I'm an idiot. You don't let yourself talk to yourself that way. You're changing how you talk to yourself. So just because you do something that can be embarrassing and people are like, what are you doing? Seriously? It doesn't make you an idiot. Next, we're going to talk about labeling. A lot of us like to label ourselves or other people. Again, all these can be projected on someone else if you're feeling this stuff. So it's very important that we don't do that to our children, our spouses, our friends, calling people a loser, useless, idiot, this or that. Sometimes you do it to yourself. Most people do it to themselves. You are this or that. Then the other one is personalization. Yeah, personalization here. And that is also one that can be internal and external. Qualifying the positive. I feel like that's complete pessimism, because you totally say, this is not positive, nothing good came out of this. That's never true. I just want you to know that. If you want to talk further about this, go to info at myrtleoctober.com, or go to www.myrtleoctober.com if you want to work together. I'd love to meet you and talk to you closely about more ways that you can win.